Hey everybody, happy Friday. Let me turn you guys around here. Oh, double tapped you there. Here we're looking at the ruby tetras. Now, if anybody interested in nano fish, these guys are really cool. Looks like we got one struggling in there, but really like these guys. They're really small, but the color on them is really cool. You can see this one's starting to color up. Let's see if I can focus in on him. There he is. Right in the middle there's a small little male. Really cool fish. They stay really small. You've got to be really careful when it comes to tank mate options. Obviously, they're bite size for a lot of fish. Hello, Lynx. How's it going? Happy Friday. Thank you for joining as usual. So yeah, these are the ruby tetras, or the Axelrodi reesii. Axelrodia reesii. So guys, something I want to talk about today. I'm sure a lot of you fish people have noticed. Hello, Kim. Hello, Shob. Shob, thank you for the positive review. I really appreciate it. Reviews help get the word around about us and our company and how we do. A lot of times it's the only way we hear from you guys about if you're happy or unhappy, so thank you. We really appreciate that. Really quick, guys, something big changed in the hobby, and that's the Corydoras name change. A lot of fish got reclassified, renamed. I haven't had a chance to look into it much myself, but it's pretty wild now. A lot of the fish are completely new names. You're welcome, Show. So, really interesting though that a lot of fish that were formerly known as cories are now brookies, like these CW106s, or now they're known as brookies instead of a cory. So it's pretty interesting. You got your pygmy cories. Let me move this ladder out of the way. So here we got the pygmy cories are now the pygmy gastrodermis, or the gastrodermis pygmaeus, which is so wild to hear, guys. It's going to be a change. It's going to be a hard habit to break to not call these pygmy cories. But if you're looking for Corydoras on our website, just know that a lot of these fish had name changes. So you might just have to, the best bet is to search under the search function. There's going to be a new, I'm not sure if it's made yet, but we talked about making a new category for Corydoras like and similar species. So with the name change, like here's a common one. Something we would normally call the Mellini Corydoras, or Corydoras mellini, is now known as Haplosoma mellini. So just for example, these are the Mellinis. So pretty big change in the hobby, so just keep that in mind when you're searching the internet, whether it's our website or another website. That names have certainly changed, and they've changed a lot. So here we have something we formerly called the Corydoras cone color, and now they are Haplosoma cone color. So pretty crazy. It's gonna take a while to get used to. And these are the slate cories, but that is not the correct name anymore. I guess it'd be the slate Haplosoma. Any requests, guys, of fish you want to see, let me know. I did see something. I'm going to scroll up a little bit. Oh, Gold Harbor Island, Lethrinops. I don't know on a location, and I can't pull it up currently on my phone in the warehouse, because if I pull that up, the live stream's going to end. But we'll take a look around. If I come across the Gold Harbors, I'll show them. That is one thing unfortunate is, it's not unfortunate, but It's one thing that it is difficult to keep track of where all the fish are because we're just so big. I mean, I don't even know how many tanks in here. 1,000? I don't know. It's just a guess. I haven't counted. Here we have the Chatica Orange Compressiceps. Love these guys. The Compressiceps, guys, if you haven't checked them out, I highly recommend it. Honestly, I was looking right over them for a long time. I was not paying any attention to any of the Compressiceps or the Calvis. Then we got some breeders in. We got some wild F1 black Calvis, and we've been breeding them, and wow, they're just an amazing fish. Great color, really cool. Really cool how they interact with each other. We actually, even though they're relatively large, you see this shell here. Obviously, there's a little shell dweller in there. That we got a multifasciatus in there, but we had some larger shells, about a little bit bigger than these, and we had full-size black Calvis going inside of them and laying eggs. It was just amazing to me to watch them like really just dart in and out of those shells and shoving themselves in shells, because they're not very wide fish, but they're tall and narrow and definitely bigger than the opening on some of the shells, and they're shoving themselves in there and breeding. It's pretty crazy. I can't believe I just did that, guys. I just walked right past these. These guys have been a huge hit for us. These are the Red Devil Koi. We're working hard on getting rid of as much white in the strain as we can. So there's a good example of a nice one there. Here's a good example of full coverage. So we're working hard on getting a nice orange and black, more like closer to red and black fish. Yeah, so Chevy, we do have those caves for the Calvis, and they love them, they breed in them, but for some reason they still also try to shove themselves in those tiny little, they're actually shells that we collect here on the property. They're from the apple snails. So they're shoving themselves in the apple snail shells. It's really funny. Here we're looking at the Gelitochromis regani burundi. Vaughn, I will look for the Aurora. So we have a specific location type on those. It's the Metrioclima Aurora from Lacoma. So I'll see if I can find those for you. So we'll come back over here. We're on the Mbuna section here, and I'll see if I can find them. As I look, I'll point out a couple fish. Here we got the, these are the Mafanga rocks, or the Metrioclima emulatos. This is a really nice one. There's a nice male there. You can tell he's running the tank. And he's 2 to 3 inches. Kevin, that's good to hear about your angels, that they're doing good, but give them some time when spawning. A lot of times, the first few times the angelfish spawn, they'll eat their own eggs. Once they start spawning 3, 4, 5, 6 times, they get better and better. One thing, if you really want to keep the fry, I would recommend just pulling the fry and hatching them separately in their own tank. That's how we do it here on the farm, is we will take the eggs, we'll let them lay on a piece of slate, and we take that slate and we'll hatch it in a 10-gallon tank. Right now, guys, sorry, these tanks are a little bit cloudy. They did just get water changes, and as you know, we are working on getting a water filter system so our water isn't so cloudy. Here you got the yellow labs. Nice bright yellow on them. Oh, Kyle, what did you order, and when do you expect to get your order? So Kevin, that'll work good. Just be careful that you don't. I've seen sometimes where the parents will suck the fry through breeder boxes. So just be careful about that, because they'll want to get their babies back, and if they see them, they'll attempt to suck fry through any small holes, and potentially sucking them through that will kill the fry. So just be mindful of that. Yeah, Chevy, it's really funny to see those Calvus always trying to dart into the Calvus or the snail shells. All right, guys, let's see. Here we got the Dactari. Not a super popular Mabuna, but I love these guys. Nice, you get nice colors on them. Look at that one right there. It's looking good. Here you got the albino auratus, or the albino golden cichlid, the common name. They're all at the top begging for food. So I still haven't come across the Aurora Lacomas, but I am still searching, so we'll see if we come across them. You never know what we might come across during the live feed here. Oh, nice. So Kyle, that's really nice order you got there. Some upside down cats and some autos. Got your red zebras, red OB zebra. Got some larger Dactari here. And actually there is a female in the back right there holding eggs. That's something, guys, if you order from us and it's a fish that we breed here and we have plenty of them, sometimes if you order, you might get a fish holding eggs. We've had it a lot in the past. Sometimes the parents are good and they'll hold the fry throughout shipment, but sometimes they'll just end up eating the fry or the eggs. But we do try, sometimes we'll send fish holding, so always keep an eye on that. There's been times where some people weren't happy with that. They're, hey, I wasn't trying to breed this fish, I just got a bunch of fry, but typically a lot of people are excited about that. Here we got the redfin borlei. These are the Namalangi strain. This is about the 2-inch size, so we got some 1 to 2s in here. Here we got some of the Johnstoni. These are cool. These are the 1 to 2-inch size as well. Derek, I don't think we have any arowana in stock right now. I'm pretty sure we're out. Here we got the Cynotilapia, Lion Sanga. These guys are looking really good. And they're really skittish right now with the camera in their face. They're fine when I walked by. The second I got the camera out, they said nope. So I'm not seeing the Aurora Lacoma in here right now, so I'm sorry about that. Guys, here's a nice tank. We just brought these in here. Here are some Mallory. Nice yellow. Anybody looking for a nice yellow fish? These aren't on the website yet because they did just get moved into here, but they will be shortly once they're done going through their transitionary quarantine. These guys are looking really good too. These are the albino bangas, or the albino sunshines. For an albino fish, I really like these guys. This one's really cool. He's like almost all yellow. He's a smaller one of the group too, but his color is Stands out a lot more than the rest of them. We got some small black-orange dorsals. I don't know if you guys saw, recently we had a video out of the black-orange dorsal breeders. Somebody mentioned in there, hey, that's not a black-orange dorsal, it looks like a Z-Rock. They're the same species, but they're line bred. Something to consider is when I caught the fish in that video, it was stressed out, so the colors faded, so it was more of a blue fish. But these guys are, you can see in even these smaller fish, they're definitely black. So just keep that in mind. Have the deep water haps. Vaughn, we are changing the weekly sale today. I did not have time to print out the sales sheet to let you guys know. But if you're really interested in it, I will go to the computer before we're done here and pull it up so you guys can see what we plan on doing for the sale. I know one thing we are going to put on sale off the top of my head, and it's going to be our low light starter pack, plant pack. And you're going to get 3 plants in that. It's looking like you're going to receive the jungle veil, the dwarf sage, and the blue hydro. So that's the only sale I know that's going on for sure off the top of my head. So if you're interested, let me know. And before we're done today, I'll go to the computer and I'll pull it up. So cloudy tank, guys, but I really want to highlight these Tangerine tigers. They're not showing full color in here, unfortunately. But this is a fish when it's full color is really cool. Man, this cloudy water is a real bummer though. But this fish, guys, I feel like a lot of people sleep on them. Their color is just really amazing. They have really cool patterns with the kind of tiger stripes. That's where they get their name, Tangerine Tiger. You get nice blues in them, reds in them. Now they are a Empress type species, so they can fade in their color if they're not super dominant, which is what's happening in this tank right now. They're not all showing full color, mostly because it's just dominance. They're all fighting. But yeah, this is a really nice fish. Highly recommend you checking them out if you haven't added any to your mixed peacock or hap tanks. Yes, Shob, they do take a long time to get to this color. This is about the size, let's see. This guy here, he's the smallest one in the tank. He's 4.5 inches. That's just when they start showing color. So if you get a small one, you're going to be waiting a while for them to show full color. And you can see him, he's not even full color. He looks like a female at that size, but it's definitely a male. It's just not, even these guys up here, like I said, with the aggression right now that they're giving towards each other, they're not even full color. But beautiful fish. If you have the space for one, I highly recommend it. Because when they're colored up, there's something just really cool with that colors with the tiger type striping on them. We got some small Madokas that just came up recently out of the breeding area. So these guys are around 2 to 3 inches. There's some 1 to 2s in here. They're an Empress type Vaughn, so they're gonna get around 6, maybe 8 inches. They get kind of big, but it takes them a really long time to get there. I think 8 inches would be a really big one. 6 inches is probably average, about a full size adult. Fish fam, thank you as usual. If you guys are liking the video, make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Like the video. We're at 10 likes and there's 39 of you guys watching. I'd really appreciate the like. Help the algorithm, help get the word out. You guys, what else do you want to see? Let's there's some fish. I did see a question about Apistos. Let's go look at some. So we do have some still going through some quarantine. lights are actually broken in the section I'm about to take you to. But we're going to look at them. We'll see if I can get you a good view. Chevy, we will definitely look at some sips as well. Alright, so these guys, you see Big Red X, they're still under quarantine. These were wild caught Apistogramma banshee incas. This is a really shy species, but a beautiful species. They kind of have some tiger stripes too. The females get bright yellow with a really thick vertical barring. The males get really nice big extensions on their dorsals. Not the most colorful, but what they make up for color, what they lack in color, they make up with really cool finnage, and just the females are really nice in this species as well. There's a male, you can see he's starting to come up, but they're really shy. Even once they settle in, they can be shy. But these are one of my favorites. I would, once these guys come in stock, highly recommend these. This is a new one. Not new, we've had it before, but this is something we don't carry too often. These are the sunset apistos, or the Apistogramma atahualpa. Not very good at pronouncing that name there, but here we go. Let's get a male in focus. I love these guys. They get bright yellow. The camera is not wanting for. There you go. Get a couple nice males in the shot there. It is blurry though. These guys get bright yellow. They have a cockatoides shape to them, so they have the kind of same kind of Apistogramma complex. There's a nice female. She's already ready to breed. There's a male right there. They get even more yellow than that. Their fins get larger. Really beautiful ones. Still under quarantine though. Those will be available shortly. Here we have some. These were misshipped to us in one of our wild imports. Unfortunately, these are just wild cockatoides. We had another species that we were supposed to get, but we got these instead. But these guys are cool. I like naturally. They do. You see some of in some of these wild apistos, you'll see the traits that they bred for. So for example, this male here, you can see it's got a couple orange dots on his tail. What these are really good for in the hobby at this point is if you're breeding, these guys are really good for genetics. You get new genetics into your line from a wild caught species. You can see here another male right there. If you'll turn, you see he's got some orange in his tail as well. A lot of times, even we use them to get new genetics into our lines here. And then this tank's going to be really hard to see, but these are the Apistogramma erimnopygi. Here we go. See if I can get it to focus in on him. Without having any lights on these tanks, it's making it very difficult to get these guys in focus. And he's flaring up for us too, guys, and I cannot get him in focus. That's really unfortunate. So I did see a good question. Somebody's asking about what pH do we keep our apistos. So they're really close to 7 in these tanks. And for you guys who are more in tune with your water parameters, we keep them in remineralized RO with our tap water. Or it's not our tap water, our well water. And so we're keeping them, the pH sits around 6.5 to 7, and the conductivity of the water is around 100. That's what we pre-make our water to. Our TDS is around 50. Currently, Obo Yarki. Currently, we only have the smaller Madokas available. And then here, these were These were bred here, guys. These are our triple red cockatoides line. And it looks like there might be a couple females, but mostly males as usual. So you can see here, these guys are really, really nice. And these guys are one of our most popular Apistos. Let's see, guys. Which remineralizer salts to use? So Chevy, we don't use any currently. In the past, we have used Chem brand here. Currently, so let me back up here. Currently, this is our RO system. You have our RO right here, and then it pumps into these 3 tanks. So you got 1, 2, 3. So as you can see here, right now we're sitting at 42 micro Siemens. And it pumps into here as it needs to. So right now, and it's not all the time, in a few minutes what it's going to do, it's on auto. So in a few minutes what it's going to do is pump the some well water into here, and then it'll sit a little bit, let the water circulate in the system, and then if it's still not where it needs to be, it'll do it again until it's to the conductivity we want. So that's kind of how we do it here. But currently we aren't using any more, we're not using any remineralization salts or anything that you could purchase. So I got a big plant order coming in on Monday, guys. Right now we're really low, but if you want, we can look at a couple plants here. We have the Jungle Vale doing what Jungle Vale does. We got the Anubias caufifolia, which I love the Anubias caufifolia. It's pretty cool, guys. From the nursery, you can see there's some marbling in the leaves. So there's some white in there. And this is the Anubias caufifolia. Not something you see very often, so that's pretty cool. Oh, so guys, I did see a question. Let me get to it. I saw a question about how do I breed, any suggestions on breeding turquoise rainbows. So let's look at some rainbows. Well, here's some smaller turquoise. We'll look at these while we talk about it. Alright, so when breeding rainbow fish, I would highly recommend not having your water too warm. We see a lot of issues with, in the past in our warehouse here, if the water got closer to 80, 82, the fish really did not like it. These rainbows like a little bit of a cooler water temperature. Not too cold, but anywhere between, I would say, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76. Those are probably going to be ideal temperatures. They don't like it when it gets really hot. They'll survive, but they like it a little bit cooler. I think it has to do with oxygen. Typically, rainbow fish, they're used to high oxygen levels, so next thing when it comes to breeding them, I would recommend a good ratio of males to females. So you're going to want more females than males as usual. And also you want to make sure you don't have any small kind of fish that'll sneak in and eat the eggs when you're not paying attention. So I would recommend just having a nice group of all the same size rainbows, a good ratio, maybe 1 male to every 3 to 4 females. You can do less. You could do 1 male to every 2, but the bigger ratio, females to males, the better. 1 male can do a pretty good job at fertilizing a lot of eggs. Next thing is, I don't have an example in front of me, but definitely get a spawning mop. You can make your own. There's some good videos out there. I know Gary Lang has a couple videos out there. There's other people who also have videos. So spawning mops, you just need some yarn and something to keep it afloat, something like styrofoam, maybe the box Baby styrofoam from the box that you get when you order your fish. That's what we use here to keep the mops floating. And then when it comes to breeding them, the hard part is going to be the patience in raising them. The fry are tiny. Right off the bat, they can't really eat baby brine shrimp, so you're going to need a tiny food. Here we use mostly powder to raise them until they're big enough to eat baby brine shrimp. But they also do good with infusoria and other kinds of small cultured foods. So just keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind that I notice gets missed a lot with rainbow fish is when it comes to feeding them, make sure you're not feeding them too large of foods. As you can see, the rainbow fish, they're kind of a slender fish, and they have really narrow throat holes. So if you're feeding them pellet food, make sure it's a small pellet that they can easily swallow. I've seen it firsthand where rainbow fish will grab a pellet that's too large and they will choke on that pellet and eventually they'll suffocate because the pellet is blocking their throat and it just makes it too hard for them to breathe, and eventually they'll die. Chevy made a good point about paramecium. We do use paramecium here on the farm for small fish, small fry specifically. Paramecium is a great first food for them. And hill stream loaches, we do not breed those here. We did buy some locally before that. We had a local breeder in Florida breeding them. Really high oxygen in the tank. A good food source. So what I would recommend is running your lights longer so you get a lot of natural algae growing in the tank. And they like high flow. And from basically, that's my knowledge of how the breeder was breeding them. They just had a tank with gravel on the bottom, a couple river stones, and then high flow, high oxygen, and a good source of algae on top of feeding them prepared like algae wafers, spirulina pellets, things like that. Temperature, I'm not too sure though with the hill stream loaches. I would assume they like it a little cooler. Just based on their location and where you can find them. Lynx, yeah, they definitely will choke. If you're feeding them, they will, if there's food and they're hungry and they get overzealous and they grab stuff that even though you're not intending to feed them, they will choke on it. A good rule of thumb is to not feed the tank anything. This isn't my rule, but I've read it. I've seen it other people recommend. Don't feed a food that is larger than what the smallest fish in the tank can't easily eat. That's going to be the safest bet when it comes to rainbow fish. So if the rainbow fish is the smallest fish in your tank, I would only feed that tank smaller foods if they're going to be overzealous and trying to eat anything that hits the water. But you do have to consider your plecos on the bottom. They're not going to love eating tiny little foods, so just use your best judgment on that. Holly, which fish are you referring to feeding flakes to? Oh man, Kim had a silver arowana choke on a piece of gravel. That's really unfortunate. Alright, so real quick guys, if you want to stay, I see Ali Sean asking to see the fish that are going to be on sale this week. So I'll go to my computer really quick and I'll pull up the list. I'll set you up on my little Planet tank while I pull it up so you guys don't see any customer information or anything. So stay tuned really quick and I'll pull up the sale. And if not, if you're about to head out, thank you guys for joining today. We will have the sale starting at 1 o'clock, so just keep that in mind. But if you're interested in seeing what's going to go on sale, I'm going to pull it up, so just stay tuned. And I hope my computer doesn't have YouTube pulled up so it doesn't get some crazy reverb. It doesn't seem like it does. Okay, so just give me a second, guys, and I'll pull up the sail. So for you guys watching in there, we have the Vietnamese white clouds. These are the other species of white clouds, the not so common species. And you can see the males in this tank. Now these are natural, these aren't line bred naturally, they just have those really long fins. The male that has the longest fins, he's the more dominant fish, he's down there at the bottom. He keeps darting in and out. You can see him right there. So just give me a second, guys, when I pull up this this sail for you. All right, so today is going to be 6/21. So all right, so already earlier, guys, I touched on the low light combo pack. Those are going to be on sale, so we're going to be selecting, this is just for this week. If you order the low light combo pack, it's going to be only the 3 very specific plants, and it's going to be the blue hygro, the jungle veil, and the dwarf sage. And then we're going to have the 3 packs of gold barbs on sale. This is an exciting one. We have the 12 pack of assorted Neocardina shrimp on sale. And then we have the, for your Tanganican lovers out there, we have the Callichromis melanastigma, the 1 to 2 inch size. Those are going to go on sale. All those fish are bred here. Really cool fish. Good addition to your Tanganican tanks. And then we have the Malawi hawks at 2 to 3 inches. We have a limited number of the Malawi hawks, but they those are going to be on sale at the 2 to 3 inch size this week. So that's pretty exciting. The Malawi hawk. That's pretty surprising. We have that one on sale. So if you've been waiting to get a predator hap, and you don't mind waiting for them to grow out, now is your time to get a Malawi hawk. So yeah, guys, this is just a pretty basic nano tank here. Chevy, you did not miss the Cyprichromis. I will, if you can wait, I'll get you next week, and I'm going to write a note to show some Cyprichromis. We should have more coming in stock this week for next week. Like next week we'll restock some of ours. We have a lot of our fry are now big enough to sell. They actually grow really fast. I don't know how familiar you guys are with Cyprichromis, but I'm really surprised how fast those fry get to a sellable size. It only takes them, it seems to be like a month to get to 1 to 2 inches, which is really fast. So that's pretty exciting. Some fish that I know that might be coming up next week are the chituta, so the Leptosoma chituta, and then I believe we're gonna have some blue flash, depending on what we need to hold back for breeders ourselves. So just be on the lookout for that. That's gonna be it for today, guys. Thank you. Be sure to check out the sale. It's gonna drop in about 20 minutes, and then just keep checking the website for those Cyprichromis. And next week, if I haven't showed them yet, we'll show those. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next week. Later.